I'm going to tell you what are the parts that make a car does not exceed 60 or 90 kilometers per hour. This is a failure that can be confused with a problem in the transmission or a problem in the gearbox, but sometimes it is not so. What makes a car move is the engine, since it generates the power and has the horsepower to propel the car. But there is also the transmission, which is what transfers the power from the engine to the wheels and is what makes the car move forward. The parts that can generate this problem of acceleration at a certain type of specific speed are the following. Number 1, fuel pump. We already know that the fuel pump gives power problems and ignition problems due to lack of its pressure, but this failure can also be produced by the fuel pump. If you are going at 60 or 90 kilometers per hour and the car does not want to give more acceleration, you can try the fuel pump. I tell you this because this specific failure is often confused with the gearbox because in 4th or 5th gear we go more or less at that kind of speed. If it does not go beyond that speed, no matter how much you accelerate, it is because the pump can no longer inject more gasoline. It is forced too much, and only when the temperature drops and the RPMs go down, the car responds again. Number 2, throttle body. The throttle body is what is directly connected to the accelerator pedal, so it is also the culprit of this problem. You can scan the car and you will get a code related to the throttle body. If with tuning, deep cleaning, the problem is not solved, you have to disassemble the throttle body and check with a specialist. Remember that this part is quite complicated, delicate, and above all expensive, so you must check everything before changing it. Number 3, the TPS sensor. The TPS sensor goes in conjunction with the throttle body. If the throttle body is electronic, you are not going to find a TPS sensor. To check the TPS, you can scan it first, clean it, and test it with a multimeter for voltage. If as you accelerate the TPS does not move the values on the tester, or they do not increase and decrease as you decelerate, it means that this part is not working. This part cannot be repaired, so it would have to be replaced. If you have not solved the problem with these parts, I recommend you to check the gearbox. It may be that she is slipping, and for that reason we talked about the 3 previous parts to rule out everything you can. The gearbox is a super expensive component, and you have to discard as much as you can before touching it and before disassembling it. The box can be damaged discs or pasty discs, may have wear, and specifically at 90 or 60 kilometers is that this specific failure occurs. If your car is manual, you can rule this out since the manuals, the speed is returned to neutral. I hope you liked the video. If you have any faults, let me know in the comments, and I hope you like this tutorial.